All right, guys, I wanted to talk a little bit about today something that we just really can't talk about on the podcast because it needs to be a visual. And so I got a question about a week ago regarding wade fishing, about the rod that I use to really be able to cast it out there, reel, etc. But I also got this, and a lot of us are using the Wade Right belt, and obviously it's an awesome belt. We love Tim and Jason over there. But when you're on your boat and you're putting stuff wherever it is that you store your wading gear, a lot of times things get kind of twisted around. So there's a little trick that Tim told me about, Tim Stamps at coastalfishinggear.com, and I've been swearing by it. Haven't had a single problem with the Wade Right belt getting tangled with anything because it's an awesome thing. Well, I'll show you right here. So you got the Wade Right belt, and a lot of times you put it on there, and it's obviously a very awesome thing to have. Really frees up your hands and certainly makes it a lot easier to wade. But the key thing, look at my shirt. The key thing that you do is when you take it off, you clip this that you're going to put around yourself in the back. You clip it. See right there, you can see where the rod is. I'll show you how that works in a second. But when you take it off, clip this back together behind yourself, and it'll be an easy on, easy off, and it'll never get tangled. So that's something we've talked about a little bit. So when you have your Wade Right belt, obviously you get just an incredible thing because you can put the rod right back there in that rod holder, etc. And all your frees, and if you're left-handed, right-handed, you can switch that. And you're free to cast and have an extra rod. I just carry a little box. There's another big box that comes with this. But then here's the other question I got. Oops, I almost forgot to clip it back. That would have been a potential issue right there. But here's the other question that I got regarding wade fishing. So you're going slow wade fishing, and you obviously, whether it's a top water, I got a top water right here. I got a Lely that I'm going to show you in a second. I'll show you exactly what I was using the last time I went wade fishing. You want to cover some water. You're going slow. You want to be able to stop when you get a bite, but you want to be able to cover water. So what I do to cover the most water, I got a Laguna rod here. This is the Lattice. You can see the Laguna rod Lattice. I got the Shimano Tranks. Swear by it. They've been doing great. And I've been a little bit on and you've heard this if you've seen heard the podcast. I've been on a little bit of a Lely kick lately. This is the original Lely S with this chartreuse back, and it's been really good. So you want to cast with distance. Well, obviously you got to have the right reel. Tranks, you can't go wrong. The Laguna, this is 6.5, the Lattice stick. But the key thing here is the guides for your line, or the spiral guides. And I never really was, in other words, they wrap around the rod as you go further up the tip. And I never really bought into it too much until I got this rod. So you're going to be able to cover a lot of water with that setup right there that I have. That's my top water setup. In this case, it's the Lely, which is a subsurface twitching bait. The faster you reel it in, the deeper in the water column it gets. You can let it rise up and work it a little slower and twitch it, and it'll stay up near the top, and you can see those blow-ups right at the top as well. So I wanted to just tell you those two things. Those are kind of hard to talk about without showing. We may obviously talk a little bit more about it with the other guys when we get this week's podcast going, but I want to show you that real quick. Appreciate it.